Imagine a society where resources are distributed among its members. What would truly be fair? Should everyone receive what they absolutely requiring to live, or should distribution primarily be based on what people earn or contribute? This fundamental question lies at the heart of how different theories of justice approach the concept of human need. Theories of justice consider need in vastly different ways, ranging from making it a central pillar of distribution to largely ignoring it as a basis for state intervention. Some theories prioritize meeting basic needs above all else, while others emphasize individual liberty and property rights, where need does not inherently trigger a claim on others' resources. The core mechanism behind these differences often hinges on a theory's foundational principles. For instance, John Rawls's influential theory of justice as fairness places significant weight on meeting needs, particularly for the least advantaged in society. His difference principle suggests that economic inequalities are only justifiable if they benefit the worst off. He argues that behind a conceptual veil of ignorance, where people do not know their own social standing, they would choose principles that ensure a decent minimum for everyone, including those with greater needs. This approach is rooted in the idea of distributing primary goods, which are essential things rational individuals want, like rights, liberties, income, and the social bases of self-respect. In contrast, utilitarian theories consider need indirectly. They aim to maximize overall happiness or welfare for the greatest number of people. If meeting basic needs contributes most effectively to this aggregate well-being, then it is supported. However, individual need is not an absolute claim but a factor in a larger calculation focused on collective good. Finally, libertarian theories, such as Robert Nozick's entitlement theory, primarily focus on individual rights, especially property rights, and voluntary transactions. For libertarians, a just distribution is one that arises from just acquisition and just transfers, regardless of whether it addresses specific needs. They see state-mandated redistribution based on need as a violation of individual liberty. Understanding these distinct theoretical foundations allows us to critically analyze arguments about resource allocation in our societies. When you hear discussions about healthcare access, social welfare programs, or even education funding, you can begin to identify which underlying theory of justice is being invoked, whether implicitly or explicitly. It empowers you to ask whether a proposed solution aligns with a needs-based, utility-maximizing, or entitlement-focused view of justice. The debate over need often ties into the distinction between positive rights and negative rights. Negative rights are freedoms from interference, like freedom of speech, where others have a duty not to act. Positive rights, however, are claims to certain provisions or services, like a right to health care or housing, implying that others, often the state, have a duty to provide them. Theories that emphasize need often lean towards recognizing positive rights, while those that de-emphasize need typically champion negative rights. This is a crucial distinction for understanding political philosophy. By appreciating how profoundly different theories approach human need, you gain a powerful framework for dissecting complex debates about social justice. It helps clarify why there are such diverse perspectives on what constitutes a fair society and how resources should be shared. This deeper understanding will certainly enrich your engagement with liberal thought and its practical applications.